By the end of this video, I was ready to just throw the RE-45 in the bin. After getting non-stop bounced around in the new wildcard mode, I came to ranked for some structure. But unfortunately, some moron made me jump master. As you can see, I dusted off Bangalore, who I haven't played in 3 years, but I was keen to get on the ground, but apparently, we three noobs wanted to fit through the same doorway like a Black Friday stampede. Apart from that, I like the new drop zone idea, and nothing gets the blood pumping like an invasion to throw us back to the lobby, but we couldn't kick this fight off without me getting hold of the newly souped up RE-45. Good job, team.
FBI, open up!
Welcome to the Can't See a Thing meta! By the way, check out Hackalore here, punching through walls. 2 enemies left, 100 damage padded, and it was time to test the smoke versus the doors. But every time I did fire the smoke, I became a bullet magnet. Finally, the RE-45 was about to get its first test.
My disappointment is immeasurable and my deity.
Just going to point out, by the way, in the event that my gameplay is looking stranger than normal, it's because I don't have a first clue how to navigate E-District, and also I may have increased my sensitivity due to, well, let's just say my body is not responding to conscious commands. Curse you, Mirage! Also, I'm going to show you every game I played, no matter the result, so brace yourself for games equaling the IQ of Loba throwing her bracelet into the fires of Mount Doom. 17 squads left. I was late to the party started by my squad, and by the time I arrived, it would appear that there was a counter for my smoke in play.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Where is that stupid drone? There.
Where is it?
Right there. Oh, yeah. Got there in the end. As you can tell, I always select the best weapon for the job. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can't because of complete trash. They thought they could get away through that portal, did they? Well, I had some news for them. Never mind. Then I remembered that stupid fallback portal. Oh, no, you don't! Another squad? Did my teammates even know? More importantly, did I? The problem with the Can't See a Thing meta is that it works both ways, and I didn't have the first idea what was going on. Mirage slammed down the respawn beacon, then treated it like modern art. Lovely to look at, never to be used. Don't worry, support class man, I'll do it. You treat yourself to a nice bunch of loot. Let's be honest, all I did was cause carbon emissions anyway during that last fight. The thought occurred to me that the RE-45 could do all the close-up heavy lifting, and there was no need for 7 damage in my loadout anyway. So I added a little more range, concluding that the thermal scope would be OP with my smoke.
Wrong!
Aha! Oh, it's a decoy. Clearly, it was going to take a while to warm up with the sniper, so until then, I did the good old push the W key! All I can tell you is that it seemed like a good idea at the time, and I regretted nothing, except the part when I had a seizure while using the RE-45. At this moment, I became aware of the hard carry provided by Mirage, and as we moved towards round 3, frustration with my current tactics began to boil over. 7 squads left, and despite the temptation to make the red thing dead, it gave me more joy than it should have to see someone else fail a climb, so I decided to give him a boost. Such is my magnanimity. Mirage was doing his thing, we were doing nothing, but round 3 closing meant we had to decide how to position ourselves and somehow stay alive. Of course, I did the usual thing, behaved like a cat, and went for the first movement that caught my eye. Surely they saw the squad running down the pathway, so I was positive that my team had my back. Would you like to know how long it took before I realized that this was not the case? Getting downed by Ash is actually my least favourite pastime these days, and one could even say I hate her with the fury of a collapsing star. Good job, Lifeline. Hey, Mr. Support Man, would you like to revive Lifeline? Never mind. You loot, I'll do it. Round 4 was closing, the end game was upon us, and it finally dawned on me that the Sentinel in my hands was nothing more than a glorified pair of binoculars. Even running up in-game stairs, I wondered if my heart could take the cardio, but upon arriving at the top, someone's day was about to be completely ruined. Mirage's decoys bought us some valuable time, but they also brought me confusion. I don't know what's real anymore.
Oh my god, man! Kill him!
With pleasure. It was proving harder than I thought. Guys, just don't say a word. Then a miracle happened. Mirage actually revived our teammate. This was it, the final squad.
Oh my god, man!
First game, first win of the season. Silver 4 became Silver 3. I started with a peak result, but the thing about peaks is that they are usually surrounded by cliffs. The next game threw us right back to the same landing spot, but I still liked the idea of a long-range weapon to complement the RE-45, so went with something much more familiar to me, the longbow. And what's so different between this and the Sentinel, you may ask? Well, let me show you. Just before anyone declares me some kind of genius, I should just point out that I live in an instant karma timeline. We had that squad on the run, but avoiding enemy Bangalore barrages would save precious resources. Ooh, that looked useful. Wrong! Now it was our turn to run. With fuse mercilessly finished, we employed a strategic maneuver known in survival circles as Nope. Alter crafted the banner, I did the deed, and this turned out to be one of the riskiest places I'd ever brought a teammate back from. The resurrection drew all eyes in the district, and we opted to burn outside the ring rather than stuff our faces with our enemies' bullets. "11 squads left, round 2 soon to close. Our best course of action was to make use of Alter's fallbacks in case we ran into any more multi-way incidents. But it was Fuse who needed the Nexus portal when he strayed from the flock. The audacity of his opponent's chasing, it's triggered my fight or flight response. The trouble was, I chose both, and ate my own grenade. That enemy team was split and other gunfire echoed around. We could farm a lot of kills here, and I'd be out of silver before breakfast. Yeah, you know, winning at least one 1v1 would have been ideal, but Fuse lay it all down to bring me back, even though it was the last thing I wanted out in the open. My health was low, the sting of the ring might have been too much if I even thought about helping out Fusey, but he risked it for me, so I risked it for him. Also, I was in positive RP at this point, so who cares? Me neither, buddy. Me neither. This was starting to look bad, a miscalculation of epic proportions, and you know me, I'd show me burning to death, no problem. Made it, but it cost us everything we had. Combat at this point was not an option, which of course means that we found another squad and immediately engaged. We had to get out of here and loot up, or our journey in this place was over. So easy to pop that imposter right here. Pew! Pew! But above all things, we needed health. I found enough to share among our entire squad. We were saved! Soon as I got us out of this closing ring, I would share the spoils. But that's when we had strategic planning differences. I tried to tempt them back with a medkit. Well, that was awful, but in the next game we escaped E-District for Broken Moon, and I had at least one teammate who would later engage in some banter. But would he be able to lift our squad morale to victory? Sometimes this map is so completely deserted that it gets tempting just to fire bullets into the sky just to see if anyone remembers that this is, in fact, a PvP game. But eventually, the zip rail hummed the tune of combat, reminding us that this wasn't a walking simulator after all.
Back away from my loot, you goblins.
Goblins, are we? It did not once occur to me that if you hit someone for 20 damage at the end of someone else's full RE-45 peppering, that the loot was somehow claimed. Not that I cared, I'd rather be labelled a goblin than being told I'm useless. Perhaps that would come later. Now, the problem with having both a Caustic and a Watson on your team is that they may well be inclined to set up camp in a building and refuse to move, which is great for when there are forceful invaders to fend off, but if there's not a soul in sight, the best course of action is to, have 3 courses. So I began mine with croutons and soup. I heard combat from a zone nearby, but apparently the real goblin revealed himself.
Protect me! I need to get your... I'm bringing the Kraber home and I'm gonna drop it on the ground and I'm gonna have my shotgun, but if there's some far away, I'm gonna use my Kraber. Big brain.
Knew they were behind that rock, so I did what every professional charge rifle does and charged it. Punch me, did you? Yeah. Give someone scoped in a black eye while you punch them in the ear, will you? Yeah.
It was a prank, man. Prank.
Oh, right. Yes, that was very funny. Then it was back to business.
It was a prank. This was a prank.
I wondered just how many of these pranks that he had in store for me. But like any good Telltale Games character, I would remember that. I considered doing this for the rest of the game, but fleeing enemies from the ring drew my attention. Thinking they'd escape by scurrying away? Well, not today! Not on my watch! Delete Caustic, unless, as always, I'm playing him.
Bangalore, come back. Zone, Bangalore. Screw that kill. Bangalore.
Whilst it was annoying to have comms in my ear when trying to assert my dominance, Watson was correct. It was time to leave.
We're gonna fly to zone.
5 squads left, round 4 closing. The end game was upon us. Now we needed a good position to make the most of the 2 bunker legends in our team.
Get in the zone. Take over the bottom.
Any self-respecting creator would omit some of their worst fails when in combat, but on this channel, I have no choice but to get beaten to my knees again and again! It was the right thing to do, hold up and wait for an opportunity, but all we'd done this entire game was wait, and I was sick of it! For once, I made a move, and my teammates would either back it up, or I'd be spectating them shortly. Round 5 closing, I laid down a clutch evac balloon. We could reposition and take charge of these last 2 teams. Or I could misclick, miss the rope, and go to the worst position in the game. Couldn't get back up now. We had the low ground. This was going to be hard. Don't worry, Watson. I've got you. Charge right, charge right, charge right, charge rifle. Oh, that was bad.
Seems like a good show.
It felt like we had a full team of 3 left to fight, and we were far from whole. I tried to regroup, which was when it happened. While we didn't bring home the victory, second place would do for now. Silver 2 was reached and my adventures with Bangalore had only just begun. Ran out of time to show you what else I got up to this week, but it will be worth the wait on the next episode where the RE-45 will continue to bring about my demise. Take it easy, catch you on the next one. Later.